Hey everyone, welcome to my next video. Today we are going to be on our 6th session of the Strength for Marathoners. So today, congratulations on getting this far into your marathon build. I imagine you're feeling pretty tired. If you are just tuning in and you're like, what are you talking about? We have 5 videos previously that are slightly progressive that will get you to this point, so you can always stop and go back to week 1. Also, please note that if you're not training for a marathon, yes, you can absolutely still benefit from the movements that we'll be doing today, particularly if you're doing something like a triathlon where you need strength at the end of your run. Even if you're just training for a 10K or a half marathon or a half Ironman, what have you, we're still really happy to have you here. But this series is intentionally designed around folks that are training for the marathon and want strength, weekly strength training to help them with their upcoming marathon. So we're on week 6. I imagine your mileage is pretty heavy, so let me just encourage you here and let you know that you're doing a really, really great job. So let's keep going with our series. We're going to be using a set of weights today. Last week, I introduced kettlebell swings. So I have a couple weights out for kettlebell swings. I taught you how to do them with a light kettlebell, and we use that for some strength training. And then I demonstrated what it looks like with a heavier kettlebell. So if you're somebody that wants to experiment with that a little bit today, that's great. If you're not comfortable going up in weight this week, that's also totally fine. And as always, I'll show you as many modifications and adaptations as I can based on the equipment that you have, but we're trying to keep it pretty consistent with our equipment throughout the week. So that being said, let's get after it. We're gonna start with, actually, this is one of the first weeks that I won't be using a band. We're gonna start with just some body weight balance training, just to work on our hip mobility, ankle, knee, and hip stability, and just kind of see how your body's feeling today. And I'll talk about the context of this workout within your run training as well, but I know you're anxious to get started, so let's get going here. Level 1, we're gonna start with just the feet about shoulder width apart, and you're gonna keep your back toe on the ground like so you can just kind of lift that back heel. And what you're going to do is hinge at the hips, reach forward, kind of like you're about to do a sprint, and then you're going to stand and drive the knee. Then you'll plant back like so, kind of like you're getting into a start position, stand and drive the knee. Level 2, you're just gonna do this all body weight, or all single leg. So you're gonna reach the same arm forward as the same leg that goes back. And then you're going to stand and do your running arm, okay? So take your time. Again, the warm-up is meant to be gentle. You've already done your hard workout of the day, your key workout, which is the run. So let's just gently ease into this workout. Think about kind of engaging through your trunk and just seeing how all those really tired muscles and joints are feeling, okay? I'll demonstrate level 1 for the first 5 reps, level 2 for the second 5 reps. So let's just ease into this. Here we go. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. I'm going to demonstrate level 2 now. 1. Really stretch out here. 2. The slower the better. 3. 4. And 5. Wonderful. Let's hop on out of the ground. We're going to do some hip mobility next. One of my favorite movements is the 90-90 hip rotation, okay? So you're going to get, if you're somebody that's already like, wow, I can't get into that position, you can sit on a pillow to do this if you need to. 90 degrees at the knees, and then you want to get everything's basically 90-degree angles, but you can adjust your feet and your body based on how tight, sore, how you're feeling today. Place your hands behind you, and you're just gonna do some hip rotation side to side, kind of like you're just laying your knees on one side of your body, then the other. So just right to left. And let's just do this for a minute or so while we talk about the context of this workout within your run training. For me personally, since I'm training for a marathon right alongside of you, see how I'm just adjusting as I go because it's normal to slide. I am doing this workout after an easy run with strides, and tomorrow is my key run in the morning. So I'm going to be doing a really hard run session within 12 hours of completing this, so the next morning. So my goal is to obviously impose some demands that will be prevalent to the marathon, but I'm also going to respect the workload that I have tomorrow. And I just invite you to do the same. I do make these videos for my remote athletes that I coach. I'm a full-time coach. So if you don't have a full-time coach to organize that for you, just think ahead, because you don't want to be, it's okay to be sore and tired going into some key run workouts. Yes, but you want to be at your best to hit your priority sessions. So I just wanted to bring that up. Okay, good job on the hip rotations. Okay, and then the last warm-up move that I want to do is one of my favorites. It's been in a lot of my past videos as well. It's called a tripod, and it's really great for kind of getting the glutes going. It's also great for spine rotation, which we do get that when we're running. So I don't want to forget about our upper body, our torso in terms of strength and mobility each week. So let's get into that movement. Again, one of my favorites. So feet about shoulder width apart. Hips start on the floor, one hand behind you. What you're gonna do is drive your hips up and reach just straight up towards the sky. You don't need to reach with this hand. It looks like you do, but you just reach straight up. And by doing so, your torso is gonna twist, your spine's gonna rotate. So you're making an upside down table, and we're gonna switch sides. So let's do 10 of those, starting with this one as one. Here we go, we're switching sides every time. There's 1, 2, take your time. Open up the spine, open up the hips. 3, I've always thought this one just feels really good. 4, particularly if you're an Ironman athlete who's also doing a lot of swim training right now. Halfway. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. All right. So last week we did kettlebell swings. And I want to start with that today as kind of one of our main, not plyometric exercises because we're not jumping, but it is a power exercise. So I want to do it while we're a little bit more fresh. It's really great for strengthening the glutes and yeah, just building our strength, which is what we're here for. And you will feel your heart rate go up. What's great about this, if you're somebody that's a little bit resistant or shy about jumping, this can help develop power without jumping. So I have used this even in older demographics, this movement, because you don't have to jump, but you can still develop power. So I'm gonna start with the kind of introduction weight that we used and just go over basic cues. I like to always kind of go over this, even if you're very experienced with kettlebell swings, because people get a little intimidated by this movement, kind of like deadlifts. They don't want to hurt their back. And I agree with that. I want to support you in that, but I don't want you to be timid or afraid because you're more likely to get injured that way. So have confidence in yourself. Always start about a foot behind the kettlebell. Again, this is a momentum-based exercise, so we want to get that momentum started on our very first swing. You also want to aim to get that kettlebell right behind your tailbone, okay? The lower the kettlebell goes, the further away from your body the kettlebell goes at the bottom of the swing, the more likely you are to feel the pressure in your lower back. So we're going to start with a nice light introductory set of kettlebell swings. You can use a light dumbbell for this, but it's not quite the same, okay? So here we go. We're going to do a set of 10. Nice and light. Let's begin. So push the tush back, soft knees. You're a little bit behind the kettlebell, and just kind of pull those shoulder blades back. Remind yourself these are the muscles we want to use. Inhale, pull the kettlebell to the tush, shoot from the hips, back to the tush, back to the zipper. 3, nice and light, chest height, relaxed arms. Inhale, exhale, just get that body going, squeeze those quads at the top. Let's do one more. Remember, back to the zipper and then to the floor. Great job. So it's a warm-up set for us. And then what we're going to do in between is just kind of, this is a movement that we've done before, just our single leg hops. We've done it side to side. We've done it straight on. Today we're just going to kind of do a little bit of light ankle stability plyometric to complement the kettlebell swings. You will get rest time. You should feel a little out of breath after these. And I will be switching up to the heavier kettlebell moving forward, but I just wanted to start things off. See how the body's feeling. So let's do 10 single leg hops on the right leg just in place, and then on the left leg before we head back to kettlebell swings. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, let me show you what that looks like from the side. Just a single leg hop, focus on the calves and the ankles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's not a single leg squat jump. It's really for the ankles and the calves. Okay, so let's head back to that kettlebell swing. I want to do 5 rounds total, including our warm-up set. This will be round 2. We'll kind of keep having fun with our plyometrics in between. Okay, like I told you last week, sometimes a little bit heavier of a kettlebell helps you really engage those big, powerful muscles like your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads all the muscles that we use in running and that we really rely on late in our marathon, particularly if you have a rolling run course or even a downhill course. We need to strengthen those muscles. So remember, as you stand, if you're going to upgrade to your heavier bell, really kind of engage like someone's going to punch you in the stomach. And just like you see track stars doing before they do their meet, you want to kind of get your quads going. So kind of picture that as you stand, fire here, here, and here. All right? So let's do a set of 10, and I'm going to be working a little harder on this set. Here we go. 1. Nice loose elbows. 2, 3. Make that kettlebell float parallel to the floor. 5, 6. That's it. 7. Be confident now. 8, 9, and 10. Back to the zipper, then to the floor. I remember that was always the hardest part when teaching people, is getting them to bring it to the zipper and then exit to the floor on that last one. Woo! Nice job. Okay, typical progression now. Instead of just staying in one spot, we're gonna go side to side. We've been doing this pretty regularly. So I like to use the slats on my freshly painted and stained deck, side to side. Last week I tried jumping over the band and that just didn't work. So we'll do 10 total, just making it lateral now instead of straight up and down, just adding a little element of progression. Remember, we don't get in those side-to-side movements as runners very much. So it's important to work them in just for when you're turning a corner, going around a cone, that kind of thing. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, ankles, not knees on this one. Focus on the ankles and the calves. You don't have to go very far off the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. I know it seems like we're taking a while to get through this, but that's okay. You do need to rest. Just like when you're doing interval workouts, you've got to rest when you're working hard. And when you're doing plyometric and power training, you do need to rest. Okay, round 3. Roll the shoulders back, shoulders sort of in line with the hips, over the knees, soft knees. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. Okay, now we're going to try a little change of direction. So you're going to start one direction and end 90 degrees from the other. We're going to stick the landing a little bit longer here. So it's going to look like this. 1, 2. Go ahead and jump in with me. 1, 2. Work those ankles. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. They don't have to be perfect. Just make sure you've got space. I don't want you tripping on your kettlebell. Okay, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. I do have an injury on in my left ankle. I have fractured cartilage there, so I do always struggle a little bit. If you joined my videos before, you'll know I am a lot weaker on my left side. And I'm just telling you that so that if you're dealing with an injury or you've had an injury, you can relate to that. We never want to train into an injury, right? But we want to support building strength around those ligaments, muscles, tendons, bones. Okay, round 4. Here we go. 1, 2. Bring the wrists right to your thighs. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand tall at the top. And last one, zipper, floor. Great job. Okay, and then I just want to work in those skaters that we've been working on every week. All right, and today I want you working at 100% for 10 reps. So it's kind of an extension and progression of our single leg hops. So you're gonna start on one side. You can do running arms, or you can reach, whatever you want to do. And 10, 9, 8, work it. 7, 6, 5, 4, bounding for 3, bounding for 2, and 1. Great job. And if you're like, what are those? We've done them in past videos. All right, last set of 10 kettlebell swings, and then our last set of jumping. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but the kettlebell deadlift is definitely a foundational exercise to the kettlebell swing. So they work really similar muscles. So I'm glad that if you have been with me all the way through this, that you started with those. I should have mentioned this, but you can always regress to deadlift, but it's too late for that now. Okay, last set of our lateral bounders. And then given the context of our volume and our training this week, we're not gonna do that much more jumping. We're not gonna be doing any depth jumps or squat jumps this week. Potentially next week, since it's gonna be the last big exercise, and then I'm gonna be doing maybe a taper workout. So we'll maybe bring back the depth jumps and the squat jumps that I've taught you in previous sessions next week. But given the context of your volume, and personally, I've got a track workout tomorrow, so I don't want to be doing depth jumps before a track workout. So yeah, you do you, but just wanted to explain that there. Okay, our last set of maximum effort ice skaters or lateral bounders, whatever you want to call them, going to 10 and 1, 2, work for 3 and 4, ankles, knees, and hips for 5, 6, 7, 8, running arms for 9 and 10. Great job. Awesome. Okay, last week we did rear foot elevated squats with a press. And today I want to just take that actually down a notch again, because I'm thinking about your run training and your overall load with your running. So I am going to be using the weights, but I'm going to regress from having the ankle elevated. So what we're going to do is a split lunge to a bicep curl. And if you're somebody that has been with me for these last couple sessions, you can just do the split lunge. It's actually a very complicated exercise that requires a lot of big toe mobility, ankle mobility, knee and hip mobility, and strength, okay? If you've been with us for a while and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to send it, grab those weights. These are still really, really hard. You can always elevate your back heel. I'm not stopping you, but I am looking out for myself as well. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a little bit longer of a set. We've been doing sets of 5 or 6. So today we're gonna be doing 2 sets of 10 per side. So since we're regressing a little bit, I'm gonna increase our volume. And we're gonna go straight from the right side to the left side. So here we go. Split lunge to a curl. 1, 2, it's gonna be a lot of curls. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switching sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, we're gonna do one more set of each. Take a deep breath. That was round 1. We're gonna knock out round 2. Your heart should be pounding a little bit. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last set of these. I'm always happy when I get lunges, split lunges, or squats done. Always feels good. Here we go. Be strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. All right. Let's give those quads a little bit of a breather, shall we? We'll do a little single leg balance exercise before we finish up with a little glutes and core. So you've really gotten through some really big movement patterns already today with the kettlebell swings and those split lunges. So all you'll need is one weight, and I encourage you to make that weight pretty light. And we'll get to really practice that run specific kind of, if you were to freeze your run form, right? So kind of think of your running technique there. Really try to keep this non-balancing leg up high, just maybe as an extra focal point. But we're gonna do 2 sets of 8, single leg, single arm shoulder press. One of my very favorite movements. I do it a lot in my videos. We're gonna stand on one leg, so we're gonna work ankle, knee, and hip stability. We're gonna work the hip flexor on this side, and then we're gonna work the shoulder. And by doing this, we're also working our core, our coordination, and just, yeah, we're using the whole body here. So we're gonna press straight overhead, opposite arm to leg today. So opposite balancing arm to the arm that's pressing. 8 per side. Here we go for 1, 2, get that bicep to the ear, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Great job. Great balance exercise. Gives you your legs a little chance to breathe too. 8, 7, 6, nice and tall here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's a sneaky way to work your core, but if your core wasn't active during these, you just fall right over to the side that had weights. So that's kind of a fun way to be thinking about how you use your trunk and core muscles. Last set of 8 per side. 8, 7, 6. This should feel moderate. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Great job. All right, back to working the glutes a little bit. Now on this one, just because I have the kettlebells out, I want to use them, but you could also use dumbbells, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we're going to be doing some weighted hip thrusts. So you can do this 2 ways. You can use your kettlebell, just for a little difference in stimulus. Glute bridge with a press up, okay? And you're just gonna be pressing from the chest, and you'd roll the kettlebell right there, pick it up like so, press up, okay? You could also hold 2 weights, and you'll get a lot deeper of a chest press. Don't pick your dumbbells up that way. And go like so, all right? So it's up to you on the equipment that you have and your personal preference. But we're gonna do a little chest press and glute bridge up with the kettlebell or with the weights. We're gonna do 2 sets of 12, and in between we're gonna be doing some bicycle crunches for our core. Here we go. I'll use the dumbbells on the second set. So here we go for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just gently roll to the side to press that kettlebell. There we go. Okay. And I like bicycle crunches and mountain climbers because it is kind of a run specific movement. You're getting that running movement in the lower limbs like so, and then you're also getting that cross body rotation, which is also really nice for the core. So one thing to remember here, especially if you're somebody that suffers from maybe a weaker core or tight hip flexors or lower back pain, what you want to do is start with your feet on the floor and always go back to the floor and just kind of be gentle with your reach. If you can float the legs and still do a great bicycle crunch, you can do that, okay? And at the very least, you can also just do the lower half and not the upper half, okay? So here we go. We're gonna do 30 total bicycle crunches, 15 per side. And 15, 14, 13, keep those elbows out, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Okay. Last set of glute bridge ups with a press, dumbbells or kettlebells. Here we go. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Last set of bicycles, 30 total, 15 per side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Great stuff. Okay, and then we're just going to finish out here since we're moving quickly today. No idea why. Usually I take forever doing my workouts. We're just going to end with a little core stability, posture, kind of alignment stuff. We're going to do 1 set of dead bugs and 1 set of balancing planks, and then you're out of here. So this is a great exercise for everyone, but specifically for, everyone. I'm not going to get into it. Left arm extends overhead, right leg goes back. Bird dog. You're going to touch that elbow to the opposite knee and then open up again. That's 1, 10 per side. 10, 9, extend from the hip and shoulder. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. Okay, balancing plank, level 1. You'd go on the knees, and you're just going to focus on the arms. Level 2, you're just going to focus on the legs in a full plank. And level 3, it's going to be arms and legs. Opposite arm. And what I don't want to see is this, okay? So nice, low hips on this one. You don't want to sag the hips, but we're just going to finish out here. We're going to do about 45 seconds of these, and we'll start on the 15 so I can keep track of that. So we'll start in 5, 4, pick your poison, 3, 2, and 1. And just go as slow as you want on those switches. Focus on really making a good reach with the leg and the arm. We're using the butt cheeks. We're extending from the hips. We're working on our stability, which you will need at the end of your event. It's going to feel like everything's falling apart, and you need to have this strong base built to support you automatically. So you don't even have to think about it. Just got to focus on your fuel and the finish line. 10 seconds now. So kind of envision that here. You're doing great. You're doing everything you can to secure a good result. And rest. Great job. All right, guys. That's it for week 6. I will see you for week 7, which I'm going to call our peak week workout. And then join me for a week 8 taper session. And that will get us through our full 8-week marathon build. I'm so pumped to share this journey with you. Have a great rest of your week and happy running.